Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Coruscant Guard Gunship, part of the new 2023 LEGO Star Wars Wave. First, checking out the box, this one is quite large. It is set 75354, named the Coruscant Guard Gunship, with 1,083 pieces. It is ages 9+, and I totally forgot the price that I paid for this. I think it was $140, and it comes with 5 minifigures. Really nice look on the front, and then on the back of the box we have some play features as well as a display of the minifigures. We're moving right along to the minifigures. Starting with the Coruscant Guard minifigures, you do get 2 of them, otherwise known as Shock Troopers, and I like the look of them. Personally, just me, I like the black hip piece more. I don't know why. I'm just so used to clones with a black hip piece. I think it's more inaccurate, but I just like it more. So these look a little odd to me, but I think that the printing on them is great. The red on white is awesome. It has no effect. I do like the belts as well. Of course, people who are clone fanatics probably have something to say about this other than the holes in the helmets, which if you don't like those, then you're not gonna like these. But I think that they're great. I don't have any prior Shock Troopers, so I'm very excited for these. And then underneath they have the Tomorrow Wars and Clone Face. Both of them match. And then this is what they look like on the back. Looks very cool. Of course, if they had like camos or something, that would have been, even better. But I personally, I like them. Next, we have Commander Fox with his double pistols, and I have to be totally honest and say that I was not expecting to get another commander, another captain, another commanding officer so soon after our battle pack. And I think that LEGO is really spoiling us with the different clones. Despite what your opinions on them may be, we are getting a lot, and we're getting a lot of single identifiable clones as well, which I think is great. What is not great is this white on red looks atrocious. People complained about this, and really seeing it in person, it's super bad. It is only on the torso. The legs are just fine. I wish it had a camo because I think that the printing that goes onto the legs is just, it's not very good because it doesn't go on to the sides, so it just looks awkward personally. Here is the back as well, and with this torso being all red and the legs all white, it just, I don't know, there's something about it that looks weird to me. He has a visor, which is just fine, and his helmet is actually just fine to me. It's just so weird seeing it so red, but the torso, it looks pink. Hopefully you can tell. It doesn't show up as badly in the video here, but yeah, it's pink, and it's got a weird look to it. So that's kind of a disappointment. It just looks like it's printed on top, and so it's just weird for that reason, and I'm just not a huge fan of it. Not going to give it too much crap, though, and then they do have the same face, so we don't get an exclusive face for Commander Fox. Overall, super glad to have him. Having another named clone character is always really fun, but I definitely think that they could have gone about the approach for all of the red a different way. Then we have Chancellor Palpatine, and he is virtually perfect. He looks really, really good. He is done in a Clone Wars new style, so he does differ from the Episode 3 Palpatine that we got back in like 2014 in terms of like hairstyle. They've kind of revamped the Clone Wars version and made him more realistic. He has this time a more of like a robe dress piece, which I think is super fitting. We have seen this costume to a degree before. I really like the dark brown arms as well. I think that the hairpiece is perfect, and we have printing on the back of the skirt, which is really cool. That is such a treat to see because it's not very common. I also love the hairpiece. And then he has an alternate face that looks kind of maybe nervous or perhaps maniacal. It's a little bit weird. I'm not a big fan of this other face, but glad we get 2. I personally think that Chancellor Palpatine in this set is the very best minifigure. I think he is without flaw compared to the others. And finally, we get a Padme Amidala, and I do think that she looks great. She is much needed as an upgrade. We have this outfit for her in the Clone Wars, and the old Clone Wars version of her, well, it's kind of rough. I think that she looks fantastic. I think that the face that they chose, while not the Natalie Portman face, does look okay. I wish that she had the mole that she had in the old Gunship, but perhaps if we're going off of the Clone Wars character, I don't know. I don't think that the face is atrocious. It's just not accurate, and that really bothers me because they have made that face before, and they have made this an accurate minifigure in the past, in a different outfit, of course. But it's really cool to get her upgraded like this. I love her jacket, and her brown gloves look great. I love this hairpiece. It's fantastic. There is the back of her. And she does come with an angry face, which I think looks pretty good as well. Alright, so this is the newest gunship in the installment of LEGO Star Wars gunships. This makes our 3rd play scale gunship. our 4th gunship in general, not including any microfighters or mini builds or anything like that. And it's gotten a lot of hate. I have to say, out of all of the sets that I built for LEGO Star Wars this wave, this one was my favorite to build and my favorite when finished. And it kind of took me by surprise. I was expecting to like the Ghost more, and I do like the Ghost, but this one, I just really took me by surprise. It is completely different from other gunships that we've seen in the past, which is what has garnered it so much hate due to its very distinct color scheme, as well as lack of like turret bubbles on the ends. I think that for the price point, this was actually a really fun build. There were so many techniques in this that actually really took me by surprise to get the angle of the ship. I just really liked it. I mean, I've not built one before, so I'm coming from that novice angle, but overall, I think it's really cool. It's definitely a very specific looking gunship, so if you get over that, I think that this is a great LEGO set. Just starting in the front, we have 2 swivel cannons. We have the bubbles for our pilots, which they don't include any pilots, unfortunately, so you do have to use your shock troopers. That is something that I wish that LEGO would get right and give us some pilots for our gunships. We have the big missiles on the top here, which look great. The wings look nice. They have stud shooters on the wings on the very ends instead of those bubble turrets, which I didn't put anything on because I don't like the look of the way that they are. They look okay. I do wish that they swivel. That would have been cool if they could at least just make them turn. That would be neat. Lots of cool LEGO elements to give it some shape and color variance, some design. I do like that quite a bit. There are stickers on this set. Kind of throughout, nothing major. Well, there are some major ones on the doors, so you want to make sure that you get that right. But overall, I think that it's really nice. I really like what they did with the paneling on the doors to kind of give it almost like a windowed look. I don't know what else that's supposed to be, but it's really quite cool looking in my opinion. We do have several panels that move, which is super cool, and of course a carry handle, which folds out from the top. It does make the gunship a little bottom heavy, but if you kind of angle it, you can fly with it. I do like when they include handles on ships because it makes me feel confident in the way that I hold them and move them, and it's pretty inconspicuous for the most part. And then, of course, yes, we have the interior, the paneling on the side, and the 2 panels on the front. They lift up, but not super high. My only thought is that this is storage for like heavy weapons and guns and stuff, because you can't actually fit a full-size minifigure in there without having to lay them down. So it's kind of interesting. That's what I assumed that it is for anyways. And then, of course, our big panels are for our minifigures. Couldn't tell you why they did not give us a fully studded interior on the inside, other than maybe they thought that it looked better, but you can't absolutely jam-pack this with float troopers because of that, and I think that that kind of bothered some people. You could replace these plates if you wanted to. I personally like the clean look of them on the inside because I don't have the clothes to fill it with, and so to me that's just fine. The doors close up really nicely. And there is a cool play feature where if you pull on the tabs on the back at the same time, you can get both of these doors to open together and they pull out, and then you can push them back and they'll click into place. And I think that that is really cool. I love the play feature of being able to move these doors. I think really, really neat. And then, of course, on the back, there is a hatch where you can load from the back, as well as a heavier gun on the back. So overall, that is the gist of the gunship. Again, I think that the use of red in this is really cool. Like, this is not a super common red. The fact that they go with, Coruscant and, shock troopers, I think is really cool. And I think that while I'm not like super crazy about the minifigure selection, I think that it does work for me. Like, it makes sense that you would get these minifigures together. And so I like the upgraded Padme and the upgraded Chancellor Palpatine. Are they perfect? Well, maybe Chancellor Palpatine is, but Padme is not perfect. As we discussed. But overall, I think that they are great minifigures for this particular gunship. I don't think that it particularly beats the 2013 gunship. That was a white elephant set for me, even though I do have some of the figures already. But yeah, I just don't think it's quite as good in that realm, in the realm of minifigures. But in terms of the gunship itself, it's very satisfying. It feels like a gunship. I'm so excited to finally own one, even if it's the one that's like not as good and it's a little bit smaller. Doesn't have the bubble turrets, but overall, I think it's great personally. I really liked it. I'm glad to have picked it up. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. And until next time, I will see y'all later. Bye.